deep in the forests of North America, where the trees grow too thick for sunlight to reach the ground. People keep seeing something. Something massive. Something that walks on two legs. Something that shouldn't exist. For over 100 years, thousands of ordinary people, hunters, hikers, police officers, entire families, have reported the same impossible creature, a giant, ape-like figure, watching them from the tree line before vanishing without a trace. And for decades, science has dismissed it as a myth, a hoax, a trick of the mind. But here's what almost no one tells you. There may actually be a scientific explanation for Bigfoot.
Real biology. Real fossils. A real creature that once walked the earth.
The truth isn't a monster story. It's far stranger than that. This is Apex Curious.
Most myths fade. They get told a few times, then forgotten. Bigfoot is different. It refuses to go away.
Across North America, reports have poured in for more than a century, and they're remarkable.
A creature 7 to 9 feet tall, covered in dark hair, walking upright like a human, but built like an ape.
A powerful, foul smell. And footprints, enormous footprints, pressed deep into the mud. What makes this so hard to dismiss isn't the strange stories. It's who's telling them. Many witnesses are experienced outdoorsmen, people who have spent their entire lives in the wilderness and know every animal in it.
These aren't people who confuse a deer for a monster.
And the legend is far older than modern America. Indigenous cultures across the continent told stories of a giant, hairy, forest-dwelling being long before Europeans ever arrived. Different tribes, different languages, thousands of miles apart chirons, and yet, the same basic creature. When a story appears independently, again and again, across cultures and centuries, scientists take notice.
Because something is generating it. The question is, what?
Here's where the science gets genuinely fascinating. Because a creature very much like Bigfoot did exist. We have its fossils.
Its name was Gigantopithecus. It was the largest ape that ever lived. Standing up to 3 meters tall, a terse, nearly 10 feet tote, and weighing as much as half a ton.
A real, enormous, ground-dwelling primate that roamed the forests of Asia.
For hundreds of thousands of years, Gigantopithecus shared the planet with early humans.
Our ancestors would have seen it, feared it, perhaps even been hunted by it. This was a genuine giant ape, not a legend, but a confirmed species in the fossil record. And here's the part that fuels the entire Bigfoot debate. We only discover it by accident.
Its teeth were being sold in traditional medicine shops, labeled as dragon bones,
before scientists realized they belonged to a colossal, unknown primate. So the obvious question becomes, if a 10-foot ape walked the earth alongside humans, could something like it have survived? Could a relative of Gigantopithecus still be out there, hidden in the deepest, least explored forests on Earth? It's not as crazy as it sounds. But the evidence cuts both ways. Before we get carried away, science demands we look at the simpler explanation first.
And for most Bigfoot sightings, that explanation has fur, claws, and is very, very real.
It's the bear. A brown bear, standing on its hind legs, is a stunning thing to witness.
It can reach over 8 feet tall. It walks upright to get a better view or catch a scent. A standing bear with patchy fur or an injured leg can look shockingly human-like.
Tall, hairy, walking on 2 legs.
Studies have found something striking. Across North America, the regions with the most Bigfoot sightings often overlap almost perfectly with the regions that have the largest bear populations. Where there are more bears, there are more Bigfoot reports.
That's not a coincidence. That's a clue.
Add to this the way our eyes work in low light, the speed of a fleeting glimpse, and the power of expectation patterns,
And it rarely fills them in with something boring.
For a huge number of sightings, the honest answer is simple. It was a bear.
But not all of them. And that's where the mystery survives.
Then there's the physical evidence. And this is where it gets complicated.
The footprints are the heart of the legend. Casts of enormous, human-like feet, some showing detailed skin ridges, like fingerprints, that would be extraordinarily difficult to fake.
But here's the problem. Over the decades, many famous Bigfoot tracks have been exposed as deliberate hoaxes,
Carved wooden feet, strapped-on fakes, pranks that fooled the world for years.
One of the most famous track makers confessed on his deathbed that he'd faked them his entire life. And then there's the most famous piece of footage ever shot banged. A few seconds of film from 1967 showing a large, dark figure striding across a clearing and glancing back at the camera.
To this day, it has never been definitively proven fake and never definitively proven real.
Experts still argue over whether it shows an unknown animal, or simply a person in a very good suit.
This is the frustrating truth of Bigfoot evidence. Every piece is either explainable, fakeable, or just out of reach. There is no body, no bones, no clear, undeniable proof.
And in science, that absence matters enormously. To truly explain Bigfoot, we have to turn the lens on ourselves.
Because some of the answer isn't in the forest, it's in the human brain.
Our minds are pattern detection machines, shaped by millions of years of evolution. For most of human history, the ability to instantly spot a face or a figure in the shadows
was a matter of life and death.
The ancestors who assumed the rustling bush was a predator survived.
The ones who didn't, sometimes didn't.
So our brains are wired to see faces, figures, and threats, even when they're not there. It's called pattern seeking, and it's incredibly strong in dark, uncertain places, like a deep forest at dusk.
And the mind instantly assembles it into a watching figure.
Add fear, isolation, and a story you already half believe.
And a perfectly ordinary forest can produce a perfectly convincing monster.
Not because people are lying, but because that's exactly how human perception works.
In a very real sense, we are built to create.
So where does that leave us? The scientific verdict is honest, and it's twofold. First, there is no credible physical evidence that a large, unknown ape lives in North America today.
No remains. No DNA that holds up.
A breeding population of giant primates would need hundreds of individuals to foes. And in a world of trail cameras, satellites, and smartphones, something, somewhere, should have turned up by now.
That silence is deafening. But and this is what keeps the door open, primate. Science has been wrong before. We have discovered enormous animals long thought to be myths.
The giant panda was once dismissed as a legend. The gorilla itself was considered a tall tale by Western science until the 1800s. Brand new large species are still being found in remote forests today.
And we know, beyond any doubt, that a real giant ape once walked among our ancestors.
That part isn't a story. It's a fossil. So the most likely truth is this. Bigfoot is a powerful blend of misidentified bears, hoaxes,
and the deep wiring of the human mind blind.
Built on the genuine memory of a real giant ape that vanished long ago. Maybe that's the real answer. Not a monster hiding in the woods, but an echo, kept alive by a brain that never stopped scanning the tree line for it. And maybe that's even more fascinating than a monster, because it means the legend of Bigfoot is, in a strange way,
just not in the way anyone expected.
I'm Apex Curious. If you want to keep uncovering the science behind the world's greatest mysteries, subscribe and stay curious.